Hey, what's going on, guys? This is once again the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you. I've already done about an hour live stream. I'm doing one more live stream tonight because tonight I want to talk some baseball again. It's been a long time. Well, I just did one a couple days ago on the Pirates acquiring Chris Archer from the Rays a couple of days ago. But I haven't really talked much baseball, done any baseball predictions on this channel for a long time. I said at the beginning of the year that I was working towards trying to get my passion back for baseball. It's last year, with how bad the Pirates did last season, the Pirates played, I just lost so much passion for watching baseball. And I know my channel again is mostly about wrestling content. I have 4 live reviews each week, a special live stream, and then pay-per-views and match cards, whatnot here and there. And I keep saying, baseball was my first love for sports. I say baseball again. I've watched for 14 years, and this year my goal was to get that passion back. Pirates got off to a great start, and unfortunately, again, I just let it all get to me. I got my hopes up again that maybe the Pirates are actually going to be good this year, even though I didn't think they were going to be good at all this year. Then they went on like a 14-33 streak or something like that for a while, and they became one of the worst teams in the league. I soured on them again for a while, but then an 11-game winning streak put them right back into the race recently. And now they're just a couple games out of the wild card, and I think 6 or 7 games out of their division. And they just made 2 good acquisitions, I'd say, acquiring Keanu Kela, or whatever his name is. I got to get it right. And Chris Archer as well for the pitching staff. What did that happen? So here's the thing. Usually, again, I lost a passion, so I didn't really do a video around the All-Star break. I did not, and I do apologize about that. But again, I got some. The trade deadline really lit a fire back into me. I'm trying so hard again to get some more baseball videos going on this channel because, again, although this channel is mostly wrestling content, some video game stuff and whatnot, baseball is my first love, and I need to express that in this channel as well because I don't want to lose track of that because I still love the game of baseball. So without further ado, let's do this. So I'm not going to go back and see who I predicted at the beginning of the year was going to do what. So I'm just going to kind of wing this one and kind of talk about this more of like a post-trade deadline recap pretty much. And mention, talk about some of the teams, where they're going from here. Talk about the divisions, who I can see winning some of the awards and whatnot this year. And then we'll just go from there. So I was going to start off with the American League first, I guess. So obviously, the toughest division right now, most of the divisions, the 2 divisions, I think everybody's running away with it. In the American League East, the Yankees and Red Sox are killing it this year. I didn't expect the Red Sox to be, as dangerous as they are this year, but right now they're the best team in the league. They're 75-34 last I knew. Probably going to win 100 games. They got JD Martinez having a great year. Which they signed him in spring training because there were several big names that took a while to sign with a team. But JD Martinez is having a great year with the Red Sox. Mookie Betts is on fire, whatnot. So several others. The pitching staff is clicking. Everything is clicking for the Red Sox. Yankees, though, again, got a bunch of big bats, less offseason. They don't have Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge. Despite Aaron Judge being gone for about 3 weeks, there's probably 2 weeks left now. I can't remember for sure where we're at with that now. Stan's not having a bad year, not as good as he did last year, of course, but he's still having a good first year in pinstripes. Aaron Judge still having a good year, improving on last year. It wasn't just a fluke. And you got Gleyber Torres, if that's how I pronounce his name, shining at second base, doing awesome there. And, of course, their pitching staff's been great, too, especially that bullpen. That bullpen is absolutely dangerous. Then Betances, Aroldis Chapman, and of course, recently they got Zach Britton at the trade deadline. So if the Yankees bullpen was tough already, it's even tougher now. And they also got J.A. Happ, which, having a not bad year with the Blue Jays. But as my cousin told me the other day, the main reason why the Yankees targeted him, he pitches well against the Red Sox, and the Yankees know they're going to have to duke it out with the Red Sox to get to the World Series. They're going to get there this year, which I do believe the Yankees could get to the World Series still. So I do think, those teams are definitely running with the division. The Rays having a solid year, around 500, probably a little over 500. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough, though, to win this division. And the wild card teams also are running away with it also. Blue Jays are nowhere close, and the Orioles are way out. The Orioles, probably the worst team in the league this year. Them or the Royals. So their chances are not even getting any closer anytime soon. But it's tough because the Yankees can still. Here's the thing: the Red Sox are unbelievable. The Yankees, though, I'm starting to feel may have a chance to catch the Red Sox in the division. So I will go because of their bullpen. Because the Red Sox pitching staff is good too, of course, but that bullpen has improved a lot, especially with the acquisition of Zach Britton and a few others as well. They got Lance Lynn also going to be a spot starter and a long reliever as well. So that bullpen is stacked, and that lineup is stacked also, which what you expect from the Yankees. So I'm starting to believe that the Yankees may be able to catch the Red Sox. So I want to say the Yankees win division and Red Sox placing second in the division, being the wild card. Now, for the American League Central, the Indians are running all the way. They're not as dangerous as they were last year. Of course, they're not on a 22-game winning streak or anything. But their bats, Jose Ramirez, Francisco Lindor. They don't have Carlos Santana this year, but those two are still killing it in the league right now. Jose Ramirez is definitely an MVP candidate. Francisco Lindor, maybe not quite as high. Other great things. They were looking for an outfielder. They got Leonis Martin from the Tigers at the trade down, which could have been a good choice, but I thought they were going to go after Andrew McCutchen from the Giants, former Pirate as well, as I thought, but that was not the case. They didn't get him. Yeah, they could still trade for Kutcher, some type of a center fielder or whatnot before the waivers trade deadline at the end of this month on August 31st. But as long as their pitching staff stays healthy, the Indians, they also just got, oh crap, who did they just get? They picked up somebody in a trade. I cannot remember who it was now. Crap. I had someone in mind because Andrew Miller's been out for a while with an injury, but I remember they added another reliever because their bullpen hasn't been as strong this year. But their starting pitching staff is still great as well. I think, and then the Twins aren't really going to trade away Dozier. They're not going to be getting anywhere close. Same with the Tigers. They're a bunch of old guys on the team. Everybody's getting old on there, so they're getting to rebuilding stage. The White Sox been in the slump for ages, and the Royals. I thought maybe they could still do something because they re-signed Moose, and they still had a couple names, in that lineup. At least be a decent team here, but they're probably back to what they were about 10 years ago or so. So the Royals, sorry, you're out, but the Indians are running away with this division very easily. Now the American League West, though. Been some surprises there. The Angels are still somewhat in it, but their chances are kind of slim. They actually traded Ian Kinsler to the Red Sox, as the Red Sox are not sure if Dustin Pedroia is going to be reliable for the rest of the year, so they acquired Ian Kinsler just in case. We still have utility man Brock Holt and somebody else, can't remember who it is, still available, just in case if something happens. But they have plenty of options for them as well. The Angels, again, they've always been that team. They have talent to be a good team, but never seen them really adapt. Mike Trout, staying healthy because last year he missed like a good part of almost half a season last year. I say he missed probably about a quarter of a season last year with an injury. But this year he's healthy and he's having a great year so far. Definitely another MVP caliber year for him. But I'm sorry, again, the Angels are not going to make the World Series. Give it to somebody else who's making an impact for the MVP award for the American League. I love Mike Trout, don't get me wrong, but I think either Jose Ramirez or JD Martinez or Mookie Betts should get the American League MVP award. But I'll mention who I think for sure in a little bit. But the Rangers are way out of it. They're kind of in the rebuilding stage right now, but they're not like terrible. But they're probably not making the playoffs. It's a three-way race. Well, the Astros are in the division lead right now, but the Mariners, despite the fact they've been out, they've had Robbie Cano absent for most of the year due to a PED violation. And when he comes back, since they made some acquisitions in the trade deadline, they're putting D. Gordon back at second base, and it looks like they're going to move Robbie Cano to first base upon return. But keep in mind also this: Robbie Cano cannot play in the playoffs this year because of him being suspended for 80 games. But either way, it looks like they've been able to play just fine without him. So I think that they will be good. They got their defensive upgrade in the outfield. I can't remember who it was now. Crap. So they got someone to play the outfield for the Mariners. It's going to come in. I'm going to remember. I'm going to That's who it was. But anyway, so but the Athletics though, they've been putting the pieces of the puzzle together. However, I really don't think they're not gonna quite get the last wild card. I really think it's gonna be the Mariners, because the Mariners have had an unbelievable year. Again, they're not gonna have Robbie Cano for the postseason. I don't think they're gonna get that far in the postseason, but I think they're gonna at least make the postseason. It's been a great year for them as well. Their pitching staff has always been great. With Felix Hernandez, James Paxton. They have Edwin Diaz, I think it is, their rookie closer as well, who's doing an awesome job as well out of that bullpen. I think it's going to be the Mariners being a wild card team. The Astros are probably going to win the division again. I mean, they're doing all right. They've been a little bit of a funk lately. I mean, they have Jose Altuve on a DL, but the Astros, they're going to be fine. Their pitching staff is unreal. Lance McCullers Jr., Dallas Keuchel, Justin Verlander, who's having like a career resurge pretty much based after being traded from the Tigers to the Astros. Literally at the last second of the waivers deadline last August. He's having a great year. And, of course, my former ace for the Pirates, Garrett Cole, probably having a career year so far with the Astros. He's definitely a Cy Young candidate. Like I will say this right now. Let me do my American League awards now since I'm at it. MVP is tough. I really want to give it to Jose Ramirez, but I think with how good the Red Sox are, I really think it's going to be Mookie Betts. I'll go Mookie Betts first, then Jose Ramirez second, and then third will be JD Martinez. So Mookie Betts is my American League MVP because he can do it all. Cy Young Award winner, here's the thing. Chris Sale just got injured. You could still have a chance to win the Cy Young Award, but if not, I want to see it be Garrett Cole from the Astros win the Cy Young Award. Rookie of the Year, Gleyber Torres from the Yankees, having an awesome year at second base. Manager of the Year, Scott Servais from the Mariners, getting them into the postseason, kind of the new team being there. Of course, Bob Melvin has had the Athletics turn around. I mean, yes, no, he's been a long-time manager for them. He's gotten in the postseason before, but this is a turnaround year for them, so he could have a chance. A lot of people are also saying that Kevin Cash from the Rays, still a chance despite the fact that, they're a team that got rid of a lot of key players last offseason, such as Evan Longoria and a few others, but he's still keeping the Rays, despite in the division where they're 20 games behind, with a 500 winning club. People think he's still deserving of being manager of the year as well. But I still think it's going to be Scott Servais of the Mariners being manager of the year. And then comeback player of the year, I forgot, who did I have in mind? Oh, Justin Verlander, definitely. He just hadn't been the same for a while with the Tigers. He's having like a great year with the Astros. So I think he's going to be the American League comeback player of the year. So those are my picks for the American League. Again, so I'll have the Yankees win the division, Red Sox getting the first wild card, Indians running away, of course, with the American League Central, and then American League West, we got the Astros and Mariners. Astros win the division, Mariners winning the wild card there. And I would say, let's see right now, the Red Sox probably overcoming the Mariners in the wild card game. Taking on the Yankees, it's going to be close, but I think the Yankees will overcome that series. The Astros will probably overcome the Indians based off experience. I think this year with the rematch between the Yankees and Astros, the Astros are still a great team, but the Yankees feel even more dangerous this year than they were last year. So I got to give the Yankees going to the World Series from the American League. For the National League, let's get to the National League now and do that thing there. So have the Yankees sitting here waiting on who's going to be facing them in the World Series. We got for the National League. Let's start off with the National League East. Tight division here. Well, the Mets, first off, the Marlins, we knew they were in the start of a rebuilding process. Not as bad as I thought they were, but still a bunch of young guys. Not really getting where they just got rid of their closer, Brad Ziegler, going back to the Diamondbacks, which that was a good deal for them. But the Marlins probably placed last. The Mets, despite the fact having their three main starters healthy, Zach Wheeler, Noah Syndergaard, and Jacob deGrom, who's having an unreal year, leading the league ERA like 182. Definitely a Cy Young candidate. I feel like, that wins and loss record and the fact that the Mets just aren't that great this year, especially with missing one of their big pieces of their lineup, Yoenis Cespedes, who they got to accept he's done for the year. He's not going to be able to play again until next year probably because of his Achilles injury. So that's a big piece missing to their lineup as well, and that's probably what's causing them to not be able to make the playoffs. So it's a tight race here. Now the Nationals are in third place right now. Last I saw, they had up there at 53 and 53. Well, probably is also a lot of their best players have been injured this year. Bryce Harper is not having the bad year either. 25 homers, 62 or 63 RBIs, somewhere in there. Last I knew. But he's only hitting like 220. Like he's literally having like an Adam Dunn type year, like hitting the low 200s for batting average. But if he had a higher average, he'd be having another MVP caliber season. But of course, the Nationals trying to go all in, finally get past that spot in the postseason where they have not been able to overcome, because they noticed that it's the last year for Bryce Harper, who will probably sign with the Yankees and become like a $500 million player by the end of his career. Who knows? But so it's a tight race. Them and some of their pitchers have not been healthy this year. As long as some of their pitchers are healthy, they still have a chance. It's tough because I really like the Braves because how they have their young players doing what they have to do, and I also appreciate the fact also that their pitching staff has come together as well. And of all the teams, the Braves made a lot of deals for a lot of pitchers at the trade deadline, especially Kevin Gausman. I know Kevin Gausman hasn't really been too impressive, not having really a great year, but he does definitely have a lot of potential. And I think, getting, someone fresh like him into the rotation, I think could definitely help them as long as the rest of their pitching staff keeps intact. And they're hitting. I think they have a good chance as well to make the playoffs. The Phillies, again, the Phillies are definitely a young team with some veterans also. I feel like they're going to be the ones to just fall off. I mean, they got Wilson Ramos in the trade deadline also from the Rays. So I think that that could help their offense. I mean, they do have the potential in the offense, and their pitching staff is still young but solid as well. But I think they're going to be a team just to fall off a little bit and not quite make it. I do think the Nationals, when healthy, are going to, I think they're going to win the division, and they could possibly, the Braves could possibly be a wild card contender. I'm still trying to think about this here. I don't think the Braves are. I think the Braves may just miss the wild card. I think that I will predict the Braves to play second in the division. The Phillies will have a strong third place right behind the Braves. And then, of course, the Mets fourth and the Marlins fifth. We had somebody in the live chat, which is Robbie. This is baseball related, but I caught up on NXT. And did you hear half of the crowd chant, "Johnny sucks"? Yes, I did hear that. And as I said in my live review from NXT earlier on today, it kind of like makes sense because Aleister Black has more of the sympathy because he is kind of caught in the middle of this whole situation, and Johnny Gargano is just still a baby face, but he's obsessed with trying to get his hands on Tommaso Ciampa, and he's costing everybody else's opportunities. So making him not the complete baby face in this feud. So I feel like it does make sense with the crowd reaction. But eventually, you are going to want to see Johnny Gargano overcome Tommaso Ciampa. But thank you for that comment, though, Robbie. But back to my predictions, as I was saying, so I think that's going to be a case for the National League East. The National League Central is kind of tight also. A 14 race for the most part. Well, the Reds still somewhat lingering behind. They did go on a little bit of a hot streak, but I don't think they're going to quite make it, especially the fact that they also, they gave up one of their best hitters in Adam Duvall going to the Braves also. That's another reason why I also think the Braves will have bolstered their offense as well by adding Adam Duvall. But I think now, even though the Braves have gotten better, the Reds have gotten better in their pitching, doesn't look like now they're going to really make any big moves anytime soon to the top. I think the Reds will still place last. It's tough to determine. The Cardinals are not too far behind the Pirates, like a half game or one or half a game behind the Pirates. But I still do think the Cardinals, again, they have some young guns and some young players in there, but I think most of their big players are getting older, and some of their best players, like Carlos Martinez, one of the best starting pitchers, is injured, right? Has had an injury places. I think the firing of Mike Matheny and a little bit of like the change in scenery. I think the Cardinals are kind of like settled back to a little bit like a rebuilding process, and are probably going to like finish hovering around 500, maybe a little over, a little under. I think I'll say they place fourth. my Pirates, as I said before, they got to a good start. They were at first place at one point this year. Actually, was at the game where they were first place, and then of course that's the night where they started going downhill. Corey Dickerson's had a great year. I think I was hoping for a little more power, but he's on a DL, but he's having a good year. Marte, having a bounce back year from the steroid last year. Gary Polanco already has 19 home runs. He's had a very inconsistent year, but when he is hot, he is definitely one of the most dangerous hitters in the game. So as long as he stays consistent, he will be fine. Colin Moran's not doing bad at third base. Same with David Freese, who they're kind of like platooning between the two of them now. As David Freese has been hot also, and he has the veteran experience. Jordy Mercer's okay at shortstop. Josh Harrison's had an all right year. Josh Bell's had a little bit of a down year with the power this year, but I think he's going to come through. And our catch situations, Francisco Cervelli has had a great year, as well as Elias Diaz behind the plate also. Starting pitching has been better lately with the acquisition, of course, of Chris Archer. I do think that, I think the guy that, again, I said before, probably be given the boot out of the starting rotation, at least going to the bullpen or back to the minors, is Nick Kingham. Rough start yesterday. He's had some good starts, especially his major league debut, pitching a perfect game through 6 or 7 innings. But I think our starting rotation for the Pirates is definitely going to be Archer, Tyon, Nova. Shoot, I forgot the names. Archer, Tyon, Nova, Trevor Williams. Crap, I'm drawing a blank here. This is not good, guys. I will remember the name in a second. Oh, Musgrove. Yeah, Musgrove. I can say, with the exception of maybe Michael Feliz, who's had a mad year so far, I'd say. I think that Garrett Cole trade has really worked out good for the Pirates. Of course, the thing that keeps scratching my head, I'm glad we got Keone Kela from the Rangers, but Keone Kela from the Rangers, I think that at least going to help our bullpen a little bit, but I still think we have so many inexperienced arms in that bullpen, unfortunately. And because of that, I do think acquiring Archer and Kela is going to at least help us, in the long run, like next year, have us be contenders for this year. But I don't think it's going to be enough for the Pirates to make the postseason this year. I think they will come close and maybe win like 84 games or something like that now, because I do see the some better things now that we've seen to put the pieces of the puzzle together. But I don't think it's going to be enough to overcome. I do think the Cubs and Brewers are going to have a tight race for the division. I still don't think the Cubs are as dangerous as they used to be, especially the fact that they don't have a leadoff hitter. But I definitely think their pitching staff is definitely better than the Brewers. The Brewers pitching staff is not too bad. What I like about the Brewers, again, coming from a guy who 10 years ago hated the Brewers to death because they were so cocky, but I don't hate them much anymore. I actually respect them more. But they acquired Mike Moustakas and Jonathan Scope. The bolster their offense, of course, and they have a great. They are stacked, the Brewers, with hitters. Can't remember who their catcher is now, though. But here's the thing. Also, Travis Shaw now doesn't really have a position. Maybe try shortstop, because I don't know if Orlando Arcia is still injured. But in the outfield now, you have Eric Thames at first base. Outfield, you got Kane, Yelich, Braun, and Domingo Santana, who are all kind of sharing time in the outfield. Especially also since I think Yelich was on the DL. I think Braun is also, and Braun's starting to fall off a little bit. The Brewers' offense is there. Their pitching staff, I'm not sure if it's quite as dangerous as the Cubs. I think the Cubs have a little bit more dangerous pitching staff than the Brewers, which I think is going to cause the Brewers to be a wild card team. I think them and the Diamondbacks will win the wild cards. Because either them or the Cubs will be the wild card, and the other one's going to win the division. So I'll stick with what I'm going to say now. The Cubs will win the division. The Brewers will just miss because their pitching staff. Yes, they've got 2 big bats, but they should have went out and acquired a starting pitcher. They need another starter, I feel, that team, if they want to compete in the postseason. So we had that going on there in the National League Central. For the National League West, the Padres, not a completely terrible year, but just a typical losing team, not sucking that bad in last place. The Giants, Longoria's not had a good year. Kutch had an all right year, but that team is probably going to be, again, a fourth place finish also in the division. I thought maybe they would make a run for it by acquiring Kutch and Longoria. Hasn't quite been enough for them, though. Doesn't look like the even year trend is going to be continuing for the Giants. I mean, they got to the playoffs in 2016, but didn't get to the World Series because the Cubs went on to win it. The Rockies, are making another strong push again this year, but I think they're going to come up just a little bit short because I really like the Diamondbacks and Dodgers. The Diamondbacks got two more relievers for that bullpen. Their offense is coming together with David Peralta and Paul Goldschmidt. Well, Paul Goldschmidt's having a little bit down here as far as, average-wise, but he's still in like the 20 homer and RBI range as well. Not quite an MVP year for him, but I do think he's still having a productive year, and their pitching staff with Patrick Corbin and with their relief acquisitions of Jake, I can't remember what his last name is, from the Rangers, and Brad Ziegler acquiring him for their bullpen was also an awesome move. I really like where the Diamondbacks head. I really think they can be a wild card. They can be the first wild card team. And the Dodgers, of course, they went down with Corey Seager earlier this year with the Tommy John surgery, but they replaced him with a big time bat in acquiring Manny Machado to play. I'm losing my train of thought here, guys. We'll play shortstop. They just got Brian Dozier from the Twins. That's an awesome move for him for second base. They got Max Muncy having a great year as well. Cody Bellinger playing center field this year, having a little bit of a down year, but he's still a valuable asset. Matt Kemp is having a comeback year for sure. I think he's probably going to win comeback player of the year in his first year back in LA. Justin Turner just coming off the DL. And then, of course, you got Chris Taylor is always a valuable asset to their team as well. And their pitching staff seems pretty solid too. But I think the Dodgers are going to win the division. After going to a slow start this year at first, they're now hot. Of course, we got Yasiel Puig also. So I think the Dodgers can win the division for a National League West. The Diamondbacks are going to win the wild card. And Rockies come a little short plays in third, but I do think we're going to finally see Nolan Arenado win the National League MVP award because the Rockies come just a bit short, but Nolan Arenado long overdue to be an MVP, so I think he's going to win the MVP award. Cy Young award is probably going to be Max Scherzer again because Clayton Kershaw has been injured this year. The Dodgers still been winning without him. Rookie of the year, that's a tough one. I'm really not sure who to really go to for that. I know a lot of people think Brett Anderson from the Marlins will, so maybe one of the Marlins young players could win it. There's that Martinez from the Cardinals also seems pretty good. Their first base, I think it is. So maybe him. Comeback player of the year, no doubt about Matt Kemp. And manager of the year, Craig Counsell from the Brewers. This is going to get him to the playoffs. So for National League, for the playoff situation, we are going to have the likes of the Brewers and Diamondbacks in the wild card game. I think the Diamondbacks, though, will overcome the Brewers, though, and advance to take on the best team, which will probably be the Dodgers. Cubs and Nationals will go at it, but I think the Nationals could overcome the Cubs in the division and take on the Dodgers. But I think the Dodgers will. I think the Dodgers will outdo the Diamondbacks, and it'll be the Dodgers and Yankees in the World Series. I still think the Yankees will win the World Series this year because of how much they upgraded their bullpen and their offense is going to be. If their offense stays healthy, they should be winning the World Series. And I think we're probably seeing maybe Giancarlo Stanton being the MVP for the World Series. Big Mike, well, used to be Big Mike when it was Mike Stanton, but. Yeah, Yankees, if they're still to win the World Series, Giancarlo Stanton, American League. I mean, not American League MVP, but Giancarlo Stanton is still going to be MVP for the World Series. But yeah, guys, that is it. This is been my Major League Baseball post trade deadline 2018 predictions. I kind of talk about some trades as well. Like I'm going to try to get more baseball videos on this channel. Again, this has been my long passion, 14 years of being a baseball fan. I don't want to give it up, so I got to get back back and make more videos for this channel as well for baseball. So guys, thank you again. So what are your thoughts again for the rest of the Major League Baseball season? What are your thoughts on some of the trades made at the trade deadline? You leave thoughts down in the comment section below. And so be sure to click my like and subscribe for more content on this channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirboy93. As always, guys, I'm checking out. It's been a fun night with my 2 live streams. Thank you guys all again to tune in live, and I'll see you guys later on sometime over the next couple days. So guys, I'm checking out. Have a good night. Peace out, everybody. See y'all later.